What is up, my friends? Hello, how are you? Gosh, it has been so long since I have posted a video, and I guess that's life. But life has actually been really kind of crazy. Still sober, which is awesome. But I started a new position. I don't even remember when the last time I posted a video was. So if I repeat myself, if you follow along, then maybe you've heard some of this before, but I started a new position in the job that I was at, in the company I was at, as the purchasing manager. And so now I'm traveling back and forth from Spartanburg to Asheville every single day, which it's kind of killing my gas budget for sure. And especially with gas going up, it's insane. It went up 70 cents in 2 days. 2 days. Let's just say screw those Russians. Anyway, but the past couple of weeks at work have been insane. Like, my stress level has been up to here, like crazy. Like, we just got a huge job, and so I'm doing all the buying, and of course I do all the buying, and then everything changes, and so I've got to go back. I got to figure out what we can use, what we can't use, and then reorder stuff, and then try and cancel other stuff, and then I've got project managers coming to me. I've got shipping managers coming to me. I've got shop managers coming to me. I've got my bosses coming to me, trying to figure out where we can save money, how we can save money, how we can track money, and which is all awesome. It feels really good to have that kind of responsibility, but I'm really finding that I am putting my job ahead of everything else. Everything else. I literally go to work, I come home, and I've actually been bringing my work home with me. And so I'm working all the time. I have not been working out. I haven't been going to spin class. I'm so sorry. I popped Luna in the head. Oh, you poor little thing. My diet has just been crap. And so, I'm gaining weight and I'm not feeling as good about myself. And today I realized, you know what? I need to take a couple of hours just for me and Luna. So we are going to take a quick little trip down to Aiken, South Carolina. Now, if you haven't heard about Aiken, South Carolina, you're not alone, because I'd never heard of this town before. I just did a Google search on interesting towns in South Carolina, and Aiken was on the list. Apparently it's a historical area that, wealthy Northeasterners used to come down, or maybe still do, during the winter time to escape, the brutal colds of the Northeast. And apparently there's mansions and there's gardens and things like that. So it's about 2 hours away from Spartanburg. So we're just going to take a little trip down there to see what it's about, and kind of explore around a little, and just check out the scenery, so that we can both kind of just check out for a little bit, enjoy something new, kind of refresh, because unfortunately I did bring my work laptop home with me, and in order to kind of calm myself down, I'm gonna have to put in a couple of hours to get things straightened out. But not right now. Not right now. Right now, for the next couple of hours, it's all about me, Luna, and exploring somewhere new, doing something out of the ordinary, getting out of my routine, and doing something else. But I will check in, because so much has happened since I have last spoken to you all. But first, breakfast. You want some breakfast? Would you like a little breakfast? Okay. Luna wants some breakfast. Oh, But you already had breakfast. You want some more breakfast? Oh my goodness. Okay, we better get this girl a second breakfast. A little bit of chicken. There you go, sweetheart. Breakfast of champions, especially when you don't go to the gym. All right, my friends, we have made it to Aiken, South Carolina. It was, in fact, about 2 hours, down 26, and I actually thought I knew where I was going. That usually kind of happens to me whenever I go on these things. I'm like, oh yeah, it's just this way, and I'm going this way, and then all of a sudden, I check GPS, and I have gone off the path. So I had to course correct and take another way to get down here. But we made it. We went through this cute little downtown area. It's actually a much bigger area than I thought. Normally when I go to these places, I expect it to be like this quaint little itty bitty town thing. But Aiken is actually a very thriving community. Looks like a middle class community, some art and culture and, things like that. Some new construction mixed with some old construction. So it's very cool. We are going to make our first stop at the... Okay. She's so excited. She's ready to get out of the car. She probably has to go potty. We're going to make our first stop at the Hopeland Gardens. And, we're just going to walk around, see what's going on here. And it's still early March, so there's not much in bloom, but the weather is warming up. So thank goodness for that, because I hate the cold, and it's finally getting to where it's nearly 70 degrees out. And are you ready? Are you telling me you're ready? Okay. We better go before she breaks down the door. Okay, hold on. So as soon as I entered the park, which so far is looking very cute, there's this, I don't know what that is over there. Oh, it says it's a private residence. So I guess it's a caretaker for the area. But we're greeted with these, this great row of trees. And I love when trees are lined up in a row. You see all those old films like Gone with the Wind where the driveway is lined with oak trees. I don't know if these are oak trees, but no, I don't think they are. But all the same, it gives a great kind of ambiance to the area or to the park. Ugh, and Luna is pulling on me, so my camera will probably be all jolty here. But as soon as I walked in, they have those, little poop bag things, dispensers. This one actually has a pooper scooper. So I better take one just in case. I'll have to read these directions on how to use it, because there's like wire and a bag attached and things like that. I've never seen anything like this, but if it works, that's quite an invention. I like that. A lot better than, getting your hands in there and having to pick up worn poop in a bag. You ready? You gonna show me where to go? Let's go. Woo! Oh, they are oak trees. Live oak. Excellent. That's magnificent. I love that. Also here on the Hopeland Park grounds, they have a Thoroughbred Hall of Fame and museum. I didn't realize that this area was such a, proponent of thoroughbred racing. Come on, boy. No, it's not for you. That's not for you, sweetheart. Crazy. Yep, Luna wandered off. He's out there smelling the flowers. And look at this tree. I'm not exactly sure what kind of tree it is, but how magnificent is that? Can you imagine how old some of these trees are? Gotta be hundreds of years. And see how the branches kind of trickle down into towards the ground. It's really kind of cool. So they've got an area for stables. And coming up from the backside, I saw, these things inside the stables. I'm like, oh, cool, they have horses in there we can go see. But it turns out that they're statues. So, no real life horses today, at least not here. But I had no idea that this was such a, such an equestrian area. And these are all statues, I guess, of horses that have won different championships or something, I would imagine. Well, this one's from 1937, so I would imagine that's not still alive. Interesting. What a cool little area. I bet this is really, really exciting further on into the spring when all these flowers are in bloom. But the trees here are absolutely gorgeous. There's so many different kinds, and they produce a lot of shade. So, perfect for picnics, for bringing the family, just to chill out and relax. Yeah, like I mentioned, work has been insane. It's just been crazy. And before I left yesterday, I actually popped in my boss's office, and we were both just like, oh. You could tell we were both just exhausted. And that mentality is rampant around the office. Everyone is just pushed to their wits' end with everything going on. It's pretty intense. So taking this little bit of time to take care of yourself, just kind of check out for a few minutes and, just enjoy the life that's around you is so important. And I think the Flash just ran behind me. But other than that, I have actually brought on a roommate. So I spent a year, living by myself and absolutely loving it. Loving it. It was the first time in my life that I had actually ever lived completely and totally alone. And it was such a cool experience. It's such a good break. But I made the decision to bring on a roommate Because my gas expenses had doubled from what they were. And B, in taking this new job, I actually took about a $20,000 a year pay cut. I know what you're thinking. Why in the hell would anyone take that big of a pay cut for a new position? Well, there's a number of different reasons, but the primary reason was if I want to stay with this company, I was at the very top of where I could possibly be working in the shop. I didn't want to become a welder. I didn't want to become a fitter. And that knowledge base is really essential for, moving on to a managerial role in the shop. However, the purchasing department was soon to be, in a dire need of someone who had good relationship skills, good people skills, a strong foundation in finance, and, some common sense. And so I was a prime candidate for that. And in doing that, I believe that I've opened myself up not only to gain really incredible experience that I can take forth with me anywhere I go, but also if I decide to stay with the company, long term, we're talking 10, 20, 30 years. It's really hard for me to think that far ahead in the future, but I believe that I am more applicable to advance further from this role rather than, being seen as, the blue collar, the in the field, the in the shop guy. So I really believe that it is a proactive move forward, even though I've had to take a monumental step back financially. So I took on a roommate to help kind of mitigate some of those cost factors. He's a great guy. I found him on Facebook, and let me tell you, that experience of trying to find a roommate is basically like trying to find dates online. You meet up with the craziest people that you will ever meet in your entire life. It's insane. It's pure insanity. One guy that I met up with at a coffee shop, I didn't know what he looked like. And initially he's like, you'll have to call me because I don't text. I'm like, okay. Who in this day and age doesn't text? So I get there and he calls me. I'm in the parking lot and he's like, I've got a white beard and a hat on. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, maybe mid 40s or so. Again, I don't know anything about this guy. I walk into the restaurant and he seriously looks like the old guy from Jurassic Park. Got the hat on, got the full white beard, got the cane. He's got to be in his early to mid 70s. And this man was crazy. Like, he literally spent the entire conversation talking about how he was trapped in Peru, I think, when the coronavirus struck, and how it wasn't real, and how vaccinations are a ploy, and that was the entire hour-long conversation. And then a couple of girls, some nursing students, came and sat down next to us at a table across the aisle. I excused myself to go to the bathroom. I come back and he's leaned over the aisle talking to these nursing students about the COVID vaccine and how it's fake. And I'm like, nope, I will struggle. I don't care. I don't need the money that bad. I can afford it by myself, which is awesome. I'm very fortunate for that. But in order to make things a little easier, I made that decision to take on a roommate, not him. So that is one crazy thing that has been going on in my life. And again, he's a cool guy. I would imagine he's in his early 30s. He's a Haitian guy, very level-headed. He's got a job. So many of the people that I spoke to were on government assistance, and I'm like, how can you afford rent plus a down payment if you're on government assistance? Nope, not even going to open that bag of worms. So, he works night shift, and so our schedules are very opposite. We kind of just keep to ourselves. The only odd thing about him that I have found so far is he keeps plastic silverware. Like, he washes plastic silverware, and they kind of pile up in my dish drain. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing or what, but it's very cheap to me. But if that is the worst thing about him, I can handle that. I can deal with that. I will let it go. Not a big deal. And the little kid who ran behind me dressed as the Flash is now dressed as the Hulk. This kid is amazing. I love it. That's awesome. Anyway, I will check in a little bit. I'm about ready to take off here from Hopeland Park. I think we've kind of circled the area as much as we can, and we'll see what else we can get into here in Aiken, South Carolina. Just a few blocks away from Hopeland, the Hopeland Park is the downtown area of Aiken, South Carolina. And I gotta say, this is a really impressive downtown. Right here in the middle of downtown is this huge park where I would imagine people come to take an afternoon stroll on their lunch break, or, pull up a blanket and have picnics and things like that. But it's surrounded by shops, boutiques, restaurants. You got Mellow Mushroom over there. On the other side of the street, you've got the courthouse. So this is a true downtown, quaint little area, that is obviously thriving pretty well. And, I'm awed at how clean it is. A lot of downtown areas, people don't really take pride in, but this one, obviously, the residents take a huge amount of pride in their downtown area and really cherish the ability to live here. Luna's going crazy over here. She just wants to smell everything. She's up here sniffing the horse's leg. Crazy girl. Looks like I'm just a week early for a downtown street festival here in Aiken. Got the classic water fountain welcoming you into the downtown area. Got a home and fashion, or home design. Let's go. Little doggy boutique. Luna would love that. Dog drool zone. Of course, sunglasses for your pet. And all the latest fashions. Come on. Restaurants. Looks like some sort of almost an English pub type thing. Oh, a sweet shop, of course. You can't have a downtown area without a sweet shop. You got back alleyways that are blocked off so people can eat, have a outside dining cafe experience. Very cool, I love that. We don't have much of that in Spartanburg. Some, forget what they call that. What do they call that? Help me out here. What's the name of that? Something. A popular bar game. Hey, let's go this way. It is busy down here today. Oh, want to get some water? Okay. And then I found some more water. Seafood. It's not going to give you anything. Come on. Well, unfortunately, I think we've come to the end of our time in Aiken. But I gotta tell you, what a surprisingly cool little town. I mean, I really felt invited and welcomed into this little community in the very short period of time that I was here. You know, they always talk about that Southern charm, and unfortunately, I've experienced, and I know other people have experienced here, it's kind of gone away. There's no welcoming feeling or vibe or environment that you can really speak of. But Aiken seems to be trying to turn that around. And, you know, I was thoroughly impressed with, you know, just how they combine the outdoors with with modern buildings, and they kind of keep track of their heritage and their historical factors. They kind of entwine it all into a very cool experience. And, you know, I would definitely consider coming back here for some cultural events, for some art events, for some music events. Right now I'm looking at about 40 bikers who just pulled up to a stoplight. So this is definitely a place to come and get out, and experience nature and some outdoors within a thriving little town. And, you know, they just had so many different things, and that I really enjoyed that. There's an eclecticness here that you don't really expect from small town southern, you know, states, but definitely giving it a thumbs up. If you have the opportunity, I would highly encourage you to come to Aiken, explore it for yourself, and, you know, let me know what you think. Until next time, my friends, cheers.